Well, here's a little video on these Boston A70 kind of bookshelf speakers. I got these quite a few years ago, probably 7 years ago, from my niece, and I refoamed the woofers at the time because the foam was all rotten. Now, since then, the tweeters have gone out. Well, one failed completely, and the other one is just sounding really bad. So here's the repaired one, and I'll show you how I did that and what I'm going to do to the other one. Of course, this one was completely dead, and this one just sounded like you kind of were cupping your hands around your mouth. Just had a kind of a weird sound to them, muffled sound. And the new one sounds nice and bright, maybe a little too bright, but sounds a lot better than the originals. So here's what we're going to do to fix it. The original tweeter on the one side went out years ago, and I just stopped using these altogether. I looked all over for replacement tweeters for these and was not able to find them. This one's dated August 30th, 1982. So what I decided to do was to pick up these tweeters that are pretty close to the same size and specs and everything as the originals from Parts Express. And here's what it looks like. Similar size magnet structure and voice coil size. There's an obvious problem. Round, square. It's very hard to fit a round peg in a square hole, so what I'm going to do is use this faceplate, take the tweeter out of it, cut this down, and then glue it to the back side of this, and then fake up these screws to make them look like they're original. And that's what I did in the other one. It worked well, so I'm going to do it here again. You can just kind of barely see what's going on here is that you can see the ferrofluid is kind of leaking out a little bit on this. That's what happened on the other one too, and this one's starting to go. So what I'll do is go ahead and remove the tweeter. Hang on to these screws. We're going to reuse those later. Alright. There we go. So there's the magnet structure removed. And we still have the voice coil in there. So we're going to pop that out, plus this. There it goes. Alright, that sets aside. Now we use this to, just going to glue that right on like that. So you can see I need to cut a lot of this off. And this has a little bit of a ridge here that I need to get rid of to make the other tweeter lay flat. I'll do that with a Dremel. Okay, I'll just use the barrel attachment here to kind of flatten this off. There we go. Also roughs this up, gives it a nice gluing surface. So that's just about ready. Except this. But you gotta cut a large part of this off of the this tweeter to make it fit. That's the next step. Alright, now we switch to the cutting wheel. on the Dremel. I'm going to cut some of this plastic off, making sure not to cut through the connections on the back for the speaker. This is a little messy and time consuming, so I won't record the whole thing, but you get the idea. Just cut the plastic back so it fits inside the enclosure of the speaker, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, got all the rough pieces cut off. So what I'll do is put the drum sander back on and clean up around the edge here, round that off some. And I forgot to show this, but you definitely want to cover up the front of the tweeter to keep all this crap out of it. So let's switch over to the drum sander and clean that up some. Okay, there we go. It's looking pretty nice. Got that down. Again, I just use this this drum sander to kind of round off the edges and get it pretty close to the magnet structure. So let's go check to see if it's going to fit in the speaker enclosure. I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah, that's going to fit just fine. Alright, next step is to glue this to the original faceplate. Like that, so that we can mount it on the speaker. Pull this off now. It's done its job. So this is going to go on something like that. And then I'll show you the trick that we do with the little screws to make this look original. Okay, time to glue these things together. So this is going to go something like that. So I mixed up some JV Weld here, epoxy. I'm going to spread some out on this tweeter here. Spread a decent amount so that you get a kind of an airtight seal, because this is an acoustic suspension speaker that's going in. Something like that. Let's see, I want the negative to be on this, let's see, this side here. Oops. So I want this to go on like that, and the two wires have to go right off to the side so that they fit properly. So really something like that. It's almost original. Now we got these big holes here that no screws go in. What I've done is taken the original screws, and with a cut-off wheel on the Dremel, I've cut off the ends of them. There's a magnetic screwdriver here, just to kind of dip it, and this can get a little messy. Pick up a little epoxy, and just kind of place those in there, like that. Kind of make it look original. we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you get a little sloppy with the epoxy. Yep, acetone, don't want that. Let's get a little alcohol here. And a paper towel and clean it up. There we go. And we'll get that lined up perfectly. Like that. Take a little lead scuba weight. Put that on top to hold it down. There we go. I'll let that epoxy set up probably overnight, and then mount that back to the speaker in the morning and give it a try. Alright, it's the next morning and the epoxy is set. Got the wires on and this is ready to go back in the speaker cabinet. See if, get it in there. There we go. That seems to fit. Let me put the screws back in and we'll give it a try. This love machine, get on, get on, this love machine, get on, Well, those old Boston Acoustics are sounding very nice again. And see, these are the A70s that had some bad tweeters that I could not find anywhere. So I was able to pick up a couple of inexpensive tweeters. They're $16 a piece off Parts Express, and got them installed and got another set of nice sounding speakers. So again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.